Hello YouTube! This is Flash Notion, the Ponyfied Talking Head, back with another episode reaction. And this time we have episode 20 of season 7 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. This one entitled, A Health of Information. Yeah, they're really stretching it for the puns lately. But even more interesting is that this episode is going to be 2 in a row for Zecora. And this one's also going to involve Fluttershy, and there's some kind of, I think, disease. The description I read said that Zecora is turning into a tree, which total fandom reference there by having Fluttershy be the one involved in this. I'm also suspecting that this will be the episode in which we get to see the other, quote-unquote, legend. For those of you who somehow aren't aware by now, the ponies from the other stories that we've been hearing, like Mistmane and Rockhoof and Sonambula, well, just for the sake of it, the other one we heard of, Flash Magnus, all 4 of those were from the comic books, the IDW comics for My Little Pony, and they were all Legends of Equestria. And there are supposedly 6 of them. Starswirl is one of them. And the final one is, I think, they said it was Mage Meadowbrook, who we heard about back in the Season 5 premiere. I would be amazed if I would love it if we actually saw that character here. I don't know if we will, but hopefully we get something interesting. I would very much kind of prefer more zebra stuff. Like, that was what I wanted last episode. We didn't get it, so I really want to know. Maybe it'll be something like Mage Meadowbrook helped out the zebras somehow. I don't know. Supposedly he was like an Eastern equestrian magic person. But I also heard that he was actually going to end up being like a Earth pony. I don't know. Let's just watch this, okay? So we won't know until we get to watching it. So yeah, let's just see here. 3, 2, 1. Play. I don't know what those are. They look kind of like Poison Joke.
So much, Zecora. I never would have found the crisscross moss without you.
Of course. I know where it grows, so it's not much to ask. Though retrieving it has been a difficult task.
Oh, but the oxen visiting Sweet Feather Sanctuary next week will surely appreciate it. It really adds a shine to their coat.
There we go. Now, that wasn't so tough. Fluttershy, tell me, will this be enough?
Gee, I don't know. It's a pretty big pack, so maybe enough to fill up this sack? Oh my, you're rubbing off on me, Zecora.
That's adorable. Unfortunately, though, she's gonna fall in and get covered in those flowers, which is not going to be good.
No need to fret. I only got wet. At least now I
can
easily grab all the crisscross moss there is to be had.
Oh.
What's happening to you?
Honestly, it's hard to tell, but suddenly I don't feel so well.
Oh dear. Okay. So, by the way, speaking of Zecora, something I did forget to mention last time, writing for Zecora is hard. I respect people who write her rhymes, but it's a little bit annoying after a while to have a character who just speaks in rhyme. It's like listening to a Dr. Seuss book being read out loud. It's like, okay, stop rhyming, please stop rhyming. Same time, though, I bet no one would be happy if Zecora actually stopped rhyming, and wow, that's a shot. That is a shot.
Alright, Zecora, listen to the old ticker.
Wow.
Serious, Doctor?
Okay.
That wasn't a good sign.
I can't believe a flower did this.
I don't know these writers, but she's coughing up bubbles now?
We're looking for any color other than red.
Phew.
Oh, it's just as I thought. I'm afraid you have a very rare disease called swamp fever.
Ooh.
Doctor, what should
Oh, come on. Where's the Pegasus
I've never
stomping
heard
on
of
lightning?
swamp fever, mind you.
Unfortunately, very little is known about the disease, except, of course, its symptoms. Change of coat, coughing bubbles, short sneezing, confusion, and the last stage, the afflicted turn into the very trees that drop the disease-spreading flower.
Seriously?
Is there anything that can be done for such a terrible conundrum?
A cure has yet to be discovered. I'm sorry, Zecora.
That's actually kind of horrifying.
It's a lot to take in. I'll leave you two to discuss.
Wow.
Zecora, this is all my fault.
But,
You hadn't been
yeah, I mean, this is kind of on par with
gotten swamp fever.
Discordant Harmony with
So
characters almost dying.
You are not.
Come to think of it,
These things
I mean-
happen all the same.
I refuse to accept that. There has
Wow.
to be some pony who
Zecora.
can help you.
Oh, there's a healer of legend who never would fail. But I only know her from ancient folk tales. Mystical and masked, she came in the night and cured everything from hoof cough to fur blight. What became of the healer, no pony knows, for she disappeared ages and ages ago.
Mystical mask, of course.
Say what now?
Parents would tell me about her whenever I was sick in bed.
There's so many accounts of her power to heal. She can't just be a legend. I think she's real.
If that's who we need to cure you, then I'm going to find her. And I know just the pony who can help.
Twilight, yeah, obviously.
Twilight? Twilight!
That's...
Twilight!
Eh.
I'm so sorry to bother. Are you cooking?
Yeah, Spike and I are having a cook-off.
My cauliflower bites blew her sweet potato muffins out of the water.
I'm glad you're here, Fluttershy.
Um.
Because we're gonna need a second opinion about that.
They're both delicious. Zecora has swamp fever and there's no cure and it's all my fault and the only pony who can cure is the mystical mask and I need your help to find her.
Say what now?
So what'd she pick? The cauliflower bites, right?
Okay. So,
That's the last book on ancient ponies, and still no mention of the mystical mask.
Did we check the unabridged versions?
Yes, and the books on rare diseases, the books on rare plants, and the entire section on bog habitation.
Well, we might have to look through every book in the entire library, but I know we'll figure it out.
Oh.
Twilight, you do that on a regular basis. Don't act like it's a bad thing. Aw, that's adorable.
Oh, another dead end. Have you found anything yet, Twilight? Twilight? Goodness, are you okay?
I'm fine. Fluttershy, you know that I want to help Zecora, but I think we'd be a lot better off if we got some sleep. We've been at this for hours.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how late it had gotten.
No problem. I'll grab you a pillow and...
Oh, no. I meant you should sleep. I can't rest until Zecora is healed.
I understand how you feel, but I still think we'd have more luck if we tried again in the morning. Just promise me you'll take a break soon.
That's normally what other ponies tell Twilight. Because she's normally the one who's reading. This is gonna be...
9 by 13-inch pan.
What?
Non-stick pans!
Ugh.
But I figured out who the mystical mask is.
Who?
You did?
How?
All I had to do was cross-reference a book about masks with another book on ancient equestrian healers, then use a third book to translate it all from Old Ponish, and there it was! Zecora was right! The mystical mask wasn't just a legend. The mystical mask was Mage Meadowbrook!
The ancient seed swamp? We studied her at Celestia School. Are you sure?
I love the way that Twilight just kind of fainted right there, just like,
She was
oh my god!
healers weren't, so they were
Second only the Star Swirl and
Shy, I am
amount of...
so incredibly proud of you for using your research skills to figure this out. But Meadowbrook lived ages ago, and didn't she disappear?
But if we
Just
can
like
use
Star
that
Swirl?
maybe we can find something she left behind. Something that could lead to
What
a
if
cure.
all the legends just
Like a
kind of
one-shot. I
disappeared?
guess it's possible.
Where would they have gone?
We have
What
to
would have
check.
happened
All
there?
planned out, and on the way we can check up on Zecora, and then
Whoa. We're leaving now?
of course, every second we spend waiting is a second Zecora is coughing bubbles.
But Fluttershy, you haven't slept. And
Look
the
at Spike. He's just like, oh my god. Is she? Everybody sucks. I hate all of you.
I packed cauliflower bites.
Aw, no sweet potato muffins.
I
Aww.
ate them all.
That's
They were actually really good.
And that's when I realized the mystical mask was actually Mage Meadowbrook.
That's marvelous, Fluttershy. I am quite impressed. While you're gone on your journey, I'll try not to be worried.
Oh no, Zecora, you didn't rhyme. You must be getting worse.
Oh, no, not at all. Something, Mom?
Sneezing lightning bolts now?
That's it. We have to go now.
Also, I love the effect on Twilight's mane. It's a lot more subtle than the usual burned hair. And yeah, Zecora didn't rhyme. That is incredibly different. Also, just the fact that that now means that every time she rhymes, she's actually trying, which is
So,
weird.
where do you think Meadowbrook lived?
I'm not sure. Maybe there's some pony we can ask.
I think we might be the only ponies here.
Wait, I recognize that tree. Yes, this has to be it. It's just like the illustrations of her home.
Any pony who lives in a tree is okay by me.
Did you try knocking?
Well, if the doorway is sealed up, we just have to dig our way in. Back up, Twilight. I don't want
She
you to
is
hurt.
really out of it.
Or we could try the handle.
It really blends in with the bark.
Easy to miss.
Wow. It looks like this place has been abandoned for years.
It looks a lot like Zecora's place.
Twilight, look! It's the same kind of lily pad that gave Zecora swamp fever. I wonder if Meadowbrook was looking for a cure for swamp fever too. Do you think she found it?
I hope so, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're making your excited squeaking noise.
I wasn't making my excited squeaking noise.
Nope. Blech.
Y'all can stop screaming now. Didn't mean to scare you. I do that a lot.
Blech.
Scare ponies or rock creepily in the dark?
Well, both, I suppose. Name's Cattail. Pleased to meet you.
Blech.
Likewise, but may I ask,
Huh.
why are you in Mage Meadowbrook's home?
Oh, I take care of the place. I ain't much of a cleaner, but from what I hear, my kin wasn't either, so I doubt they'd mind a few cobwebs in our ancestral home.
You're related to Mage Meadowbrook?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Huh.
goodness, Twilight, we did it! Not only did we find Mage Meadowbrook's old house, we actually found one of her descendants.
Honestly, I would not have guessed it.
So you're looking for some kind of cure, huh? Well now, I know Meadowbrook was known to always be writing in the journals. If she had the cure you want, I reckon that's where it'd be. Come on, I'll show you the library.
There's a library.
Now!
Of course Twilight's excited for that.
Oh, well, libraries come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
This is good. It'll take us less time to go through everything.
Blech. Just shove these crystals off to the side. They're not important.
My mom made me eat peas. Peas are yucky. And we can probably skip this one, unless she found a cure when she was a foal.
I met a colt today. He pulled my mane, so I put a frog on his head. Also not helpful. But I do kind of want to see where it goes.
Wait, listen to this. Today I tried again to brew an unsniffle elixir.
Ooh, which one's
And
Mage
I
Meadowbrook?
finally got it right.
Nice.
Meadowbrook, I think it's time you had this.
My very own healer's mask. You think I'm ready, Mother?
Mother. Oh.
What caused this?
Mother calls it swamp fever. We've been trying to find a cure, but it hasn't been easy.
Oh no. Now her mom's gonna get it too.
It spread like wildfire. I fear if we don't find a cure soon, every pony will be in grave danger.
Huh. Well, this is,
With Mother sick, I didn't think I'd ever find a cure. But staring at those cursed flowers today, I saw something.
bees. Huh. Bees are resistant to it.
Flash bees!
Wait, what? What are they called?
I realized the flower's poison didn't affect the flash bees, and if they were
Flash
immune
bees?
to swamp fever,
Oh lord, that's what it. That's where it came from. Something Brony Burning X made. Wow, that's pretty epic. Rainbow would be impressed. Ugh. Ouch! Maybe being stung by him will keep her from
they
being.
were so aggressive defending their hive, I didn't know how I was gonna get it. Here goes nothing.
Okay.
Today, I cured Mother and the rest of the bayou.
It was the greatest feeling I've ever experienced.
Huh.
And I
So all
promise
she needed
to
was the
dedicate my life to cure
Flash
ponies
Bee's honey.
all over Equestria.
And she did just that. Right up till she disappeared without a trace.
So all we have to do is find those aggressive.
So what happened to her?
Get them to
This
give us their honey.
this is they're probably right. This is probably gonna come up with
It
the.
doesn't say how she did that.
This is probably gonna be the season finale. Is gonna be what happened to all the legends.
I know I haven't slept in a while, but. Oh no! I've caught swamp fever!
Oh dear.
Huh?
Are you sure these are necessary?
What?
I said, are you sure these are necessary?
Yes! I won't risk infecting you or Cattail.
What you can't risk is getting any sicker. If you don't rest, your symptoms will only get worse.
Mm-hmm. You really should rest up before going up against those flash bees. They are nasty critters.
You don't know this about me, but I'm pretty good with animals. And besides...
Yeah, she is, including bees.
Tell.
Zecora is counting on me. I have to help her, just like Meadowbrook helped her mother and all those bayou ponies long ago.
But Fluttershy,
Huh.
as much as Meadowbrook took care of other ponies, I'm sure she also took care of herself.
You're not gonna change my mind, Twilight!
Ooh, being sick, she sure is strong.
Fluttershy is always as strong as she needs to be.
The flash bee hive is just up yonder.
Still there after all these years?
Sure you don't want me to come with you?
No.
Also,
Dangerous Twilight.
it's probably insensitive, but I really like Fluttershy's mane right there.
Won't let it happen
The
to
messy
me.
look has always worked for her.
Okay, Fluttershy, you can do this.
Yeah? She's not even going to be able to really get up the tree, is she? Nope. Yeah, there she goes. Is she going to be able to communicate with them, or is she... Or are they going to be too... Or is she going
Hello, Flash Bees. I was hoping I could get some of your honey.
Nope.
Oh, I see. You don't let others have any. Well, I'm sorry, but I really need it. I didn't want it to have to come to this, that I'll just have to use the stare.
It's not going to be effective right now because you're ill. Ow.
You really are aggressive.
Uh-huh. That's... On the other hand, I just realized something. Fluttershy wants to be his tree, right? Oh dear.
What happened? Where am I?
Oh, I'm so glad you're okay.
You fell out of the tree.
You fainted, but Twilight shot some magic up and caught you. It was crazy.
Goodness gracious. Have you heard from Zecora? Is she okay?
We got word your zebra friend has started sprouting leaves.
She's already turning into a tree? I thought we'd have more time.
Actually, you've been asleep for 3 days.
Days?
Mm-hmm. You were asleep so long we were afraid you wouldn't be able to move when you woke up. But thankfully you just wore yourself down.
Oh dear, we have to get back to the hive. I've wasted so much time and...
Now hang on there, Fluttershy. Those flash bee critters are tricky.
Cattail's right. I can't even use magic to calm them down. We'll have to find another way to get the honey.
We've tried everything from disguises to things I won't even speak of.
He's been through a lot these past 3 days.
Okay then. Fanfictions, go.
That's it! I know how she did it! I know how Meadowbrook got the honey!
How?
This is how Meadowbrook got the honey from the flash bees.
She threw a mask at them? I wouldn't recommend that.
No, the male bees aren't aggressive around the queen bee, and this mask has the same stripes that she does.
Fluttershy, that's brilliant!
Whoa!
Now she's sneezing lightning too.
It's crossed.
Oh golly, I can't watch.
Mind over matter.
Okay. Random thing to spout out. Huh.
Twilight, it's working.
Huh. Maybe consider getting a... Ew. That was gross, even if it was only for a second.
Fluttershy.
Oh, I do feel fine. And this honey is divine.
Oh, you're rhyming again. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you,
Aw.
Fluttershy, for all you endured. If not for you, I would not be cured.
Oh, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been sick in the first place.
Yeah.
Regret is not what you should feel, because on this journey, you've learned a great deal.
That's true. I certainly learned that if you don't take care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of any pony else. In fact, if I had rested, like Twilight suggested all along, maybe I would have thought to use Meadowbrook's mask sooner.
Well,
Please tell me you found the cure.
his look like antlers. Wow. Okay. Not bad. I liked it a little bit better than Daring Done, I think. Especially since it really wasn't obvious at first what the solution was there. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. Like, at the moment, all of these Legend episodes are kind of meh. Like, the best one was the first one, probably because we got to see all those Legends so quickly that the fact that their stories weren't very complex, weren't very, like, expansive in what was happening, didn't really distract us, or didn't really stand out that... Excuse me. Let me try saying that a different way. There were 3 stories in that one episode, and that took up the time very nicely. None of them went on for too long. Rockhurst was a little bit, it could have been a little bit better in stating what exactly happened to him, but all around, all of those stories were really good and they worked. By themselves, the story of Mage Meadowbrook and the story of Somnambula are equally as good as those ones. However, the idea of making an entire episode revolve around that story, around those stories, kind of detracts a little bit. And in that way, like, I don't know how they could have done it differently, but just the way this one went, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I just, like, literally just before watching this, I just spent time gushing about last week's episode. But this one seems very much lesser. I mean, I like getting to see Mage Meadowbrook. I am very much curious about how she managed to enchant 8 different items when she's an earth pony. But I did like that. I also liked seeing the Bayou ponies. They're like down in Louisiana or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but yeah. Like, I wouldn't associate that with Eastern Equestria. I would associate it with Southern, mid-Southern Equestria. But no, it's pretty cool. And Cattail is interesting fella. The way he said they just went after Fluttershy woke up, the way he said certain things, that was like, okay, did not need to know that. Thank you very much for that scarring mental images there. Even though he didn't actually say what they were. Yeah. But man, I don't want to cut this off too soon. I'm very much like talking for a while, but I don't know anything about Mage Meadowbrook from the comics yet. Like, everything I don't really know any of the comic book stuff in regards to these legends, but if Mage Meadowbrook actually is like she was here in the comic books, I mean, I don't know what it would have really been about, but I don't know what I'm saying here. It's interesting to note, though, that the first 3 legends that we saw, like, the first 3 legends that we saw weren't very, or like, they were more action-y, I guess. Like, Rocco got super strength and dug a trench to save his village from an erupting volcano. And Flash Magnus took on dragons, and Mistmane engaged in a magic duel with her former friend before giving up her youth. Somnambula solved a riddle. And Meadowbrook here got some honey from some bees to cure a disease, which, I mean, it's fairly impressive, but neither of those stories are really action-y, which, I mean, also goes back to, like, I heard that the 6th legend is Starthrill the Bearded, so, I mean, if that's going to be the season finale, like, Starthrill's always been associated with high-level magic, but he's never really been an action pony either. So, I don't know how this is all gonna go down here, and it doesn't really feel, I don't know, it's starting to feel hollow. A lot of people have expressed worry that the best episodes of the season are behind us, and that all of the really good ones are going to be in the first half of the season. And a lot of people say that Season 6 was a low point for the season. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Season 6 had a really strong finale. I think that if you look at everything after Episode 13 and beyond, Episode 13 was absolutely wonderful. A lot of people didn't really like 14 and 15. I thought 14 was okay. 15 was kind of... It was alright. Times They Are a Changeling was pretty good. Dungeons and Discords was pretty good. Buckball Season was alright. The Fault in Our Cutie Marks was freaking amazing. From there, I mean, Viva Las Pegasus, meh. Every Little Thing She Does was pretty cool. Pony Point of View had its problems in the third act, but otherwise was decent. Where the Apple Lies was at least somewhat fun. And Top Bolt was pretty good. So, all around, I mean, it wasn't bad. And the first half of Season 6 had its problems as well. I mean, I didn't really like Flutter Brother or On Your Marks was not the greatest CMC episode. Gift of the Mod Pie, I didn't really like that one either. A lot of people probably don't like me for that, but whatever. Like, Season 6 was very spread out in that sense. A lot more than I think a lot of people say. And Season 7 has been pretty good too. I guess that's what I'm going to spend this episode, the rest of my time here talking about, is just like Season 7 in general. But yeah, I mean, the first half of the season has started out pretty good. Celestial Advice, All Balled Up, Rock Solid Friendship, Parental Guidance, and Our Royal Problem, of course. Then we had Discord and Harmony, Perfect Pair. So, I mean, there was some misses. Not Asking for Trouble wasn't that great. Honest Apple was so far the worst episode of the season for me. Forever Philly is kind of forgettable. Hard to Say Anything had some cringy moments in it. Flurry of Emotions is also kind of forgettable. And Fluttershy Leans In had a couple of problems with the writing. But yeah, the first half was pretty good. If you look at what we've gotten for the second half so far, Fame and Misfortune, awesome. Triple Threat, pretty good. Campfire Tales, decent. To Change Changeling, one of my favorites. Daring Done and this one are kind of lesser. I really liked last week's episode, so I mean, it's still a mixed bag. And what people have to remember, including myself, is that not everybody's going to have the same opinion about an episode. I didn't particularly like Daring Dawn. Some people actually really liked it. Most people agreed that there were some idiot moments with Cavaleron and how he captured Rainbow Dash and all that. But a lot of people still really liked it just for Somnambulist stuff. And I feel like it'll be the same way here. Some people are going to really like this for how it brings up Mage Meadowbrook, which is going to be a callback to Season 5 premiere. Even though, once again, how did she create enchanted items? Oh. The only thing I can think of is that somehow, in her travels, she learned how to use potions. And using potions, it's possible to take the magic from potions and like pour it on an object, and then that object becomes enchanted with the magic of the potion or something like that. Like, that's kind of a dumb idea, but it's the best idea I can come up with. Kind of wish they'd show us something like that. Like, when these names are brought up beforehand, and then later on the writers create stuff like this that just it doesn't feel quite right. Like, maybe in some cases the fact that these ponies have passed into myth and legend at this point, for most of Equestria, kind of like makes it so that people like named spells after them after they were dead or something like that. But I mean, in the case of Meadowbrook, they absolutely said that there were 8 enchanted items that she created. So, or maybe it's enchanted items that she possessed. That's a different idea. We all thought it was stuff that she created. What if it's things that she possessed? Like, that could be a way around it. Like, a lot of objects are only famous because famous people possess them. Imagine if, like, okay, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but, and you can correct me if I am wrong, but King Arthur wielded Excalibur, right? Or was it Sir Lancelot? It was one of those two. It was, or maybe it was Sir Galahad. I don't know. One of the famous Knights of the Round Table, or King Arthur himself, wielded Excalibur, or the Sword and the Stone, all of that sort of stuff. But those swords would not be nearly as famous if they were wielded by a less famous person, character, whatever. Like, for a different sort of example here, I'm trying to think of one. It's actually very hard to think of one all of a sudden. I'm trying to go for Greek mythology, and I'm not really coming up with too much here. The characters in Greek mythology didn't really name their swords all that often. I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay. But you know what I'm trying to get at here, though. Like, an object can become famous simply because a famous person possessed it. Like, okay, yeah, just look at some stuff that sells on the internet, celebrities, keepsakes or whatever. Like, stuff that a celebrity has owned now sells for 10 times its original value because it was owned by a celebrity and for no other reason. Famous people touching something automatically gives it more value these days, and possibly in the past as well, because humans are like that. So, because ponies are based on us, of course, it's possible that those 8 enchanted items are only associated with Meadowbrook, not because she created them, but because she was simply the one who possessed all of them. And it would make sense that she would possess enchanted items, because enchanted items tend to be able to heal things, or useful for healing. They really do. So, and it would also make sense that Twilight would be skeptical of a staff that steals cutie marks if Mage Meadowbrook is famous for healing. So, yeah. Also shows how little research Starlight really did there. Huh. For someone who's supposedly very intelligent. Oh yeah, where was Starlight in this episode? I'm gonna guess she was with Trixie, because she wasn't in the castle for the cook-off. Could have been never mind, I'm not gonna say that. You can all probably guess what I was about to say. I'm not gonna say it. Okay, anything else? Anything else at all that I can just bring up for this episode? I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. Oh, I suppose it was kind of nice to see the Doctor Pony again. On the other hand, still no information about zebras, and like, why did Mage Meadowbrook's house look so similar to ZECORA'S? Where did Zecora learn all the stuff that she knows? And why didn't Mage Meadowbrook make her cures more widely known? There are a lot of questions not answered here. But, yeah. So, this episode wasn't terrible. It wasn't that great either. Not entirely forgettable, but yeah, just not that great of an episode. That's kind of unfortunate, but who knows? Maybe seriously people turn down the freaking bass. I very much dislike people who go down the street with their bass shaking entire houses. Oh boy, what was I saying? Oh right, so if this stuff about the legends does come up again in like the season finale, I will very much appreciate that. And if the stuff that's in the season finale enhances the stuff in these legend stories, that would be amazing. If you really think about it, the idea that Miss Main, or not Miss Main, Mage Meadowbrook just kind of disappeared, well, that raises a lot of questions, because Star Scrolls kind of just disappeared from history after a while. There's like no record of what happened to them. I mean, they can't really say death or killed or anything like that in this show, but you'd have to assume that either Star Scroll died or he just disappeared somehow magically. And like, I know that the prevalent theory used to be that he turned into Discord. I've kind of fallen away from that a little bit now. I don't really remember anymore what my headcanon is for that. But, yeah, I mean, something had to happen to him. Something had to happen. So, it's just, like, what? We don't know. Whatever, I'm done. I'm done now. I've managed to get my time in. Let's just stop this now. I have other things to do. So, yeah, that was a health of information. Not the greatest episode. Not the worst. Look forward to next week's, and I'll see y'all then. Flash Notion, out.